Hello, Facebook Live. This is Mickey Wright with Beauty Superstars coming to you. See if we can get some decent light here. Well, we made it through Christmas. I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful day, a wonderful time with friends and family and food and gifts and all that kind of good stuff. And I got to get a little rest and excited to be here tonight because we're going to talk about what's going on into they've got all this new stuff here on live that I'm like, what's going on? So welcome everybody that's coming on. Thanks for joining. It's like we can add people now. That's really cool. And merry day after Christmas and Happy New Year coming up. Tonight, going to talk about some goal setting and 3 mistakes to avoid in your goal setting, getting ready for a powerful year. How many of you guys already have your goals and stuff laid out for the year? Give me a thumbs up if you've got some goals already planned out for 2018 to make it spectacular. So, I'm assuming you have a few things laid out there, but I'm Mickey Wright. I'm with BeautySuperstars.com. I'm a salon business coach, been in the industry for more than 25 years and grateful to have been able to impact a lot of stylists and their lives and careers and thousands of folks who've become six-figure stylists from some of my trainings and mentoring, and appreciate you all. It's like love to love. And I see the thumbs up, so we've got some great goals, some things that are ready to pop off for 2018, which is only just a few days away, which is really unbelievable. So welcome. It's like I see Johnny and Trish and Monica and Dominique, and hi everybody. This is such a cool way to connect. So anyway, I'm just going to jump right in. If you have any questions about goal setting or things that might be frustrating to you, you can feel free to throw them down in the comment section. And otherwise, just looking at like big challenges. Okay, this whole bring them on camera is throwing me off. Sorry about that, guys. But now you can add people to the live. We did that last week, and kind of talking about my first tip that I wanted to share as far as mistakes is about getting specific. It's like a lot of times we have goals. Oh, I want to make more money, or I want to add more clients, or whatever it may be, travel, whatever our goal may be, but we don't get specific enough. And last week I was able to do a situation where we added on a stylist who's actually we did kind of like live coaching basically, and we added her on, and we went into she wants more clients. That's really one of her goals. Kind of all I want for Christmas is more clients. Hey, Belinda. Hey, Gloria. Kevin. It's like I see so many people like, woo, this is fun. But it's like with that, it's like we kind of zoomed into like not only do you want more clients, but you want more ideal clients. You want more clients who are just what you're looking for, so that you can do the services that you want to do all day in terms of, what's your specialty? What do you want to do? What fuels you when you get to do that all day long? And so sometimes we're still figuring that out because we like to do everything, but it's hard to market everything and to everyone. Hey, Belinda, great to see you. And it's more difficult to, hey, Elsie, thanks for joining. It's hard to market to everybody. And Zoe's here. Hi, Zoe. And it's really challenging to market to everybody. And so, and if you don't have like a specialty or what you're known for, that kind of becomes your brand or what have you. And so what we did last week was go through not only like an avatar. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that, but people kind of give you, someone to kind of look at and say, oh, this is my ideal client. But it's like I like to kind of narrow in on like who is, like your best client right now, and give them a name and really put all the characteristics. And so it came down to the client that she chose was a nurse. And so then we were able to look at nurses and, where do nurses hang out, so we can start to hang out with them and be able to actually put together special promotions just for nurses, in a particular area. Maybe they all work in a hospital, maybe they work in an office park, doctor's office or doctor's complex. Any of those kind of things can make it so much easier for you to really zone in and actually target the clients that you're actually looking for, which gets them in your chair faster, because it's like they're speaking your language, you're speaking their language, and it's like it really is a good fit. Hey, Virginia, I see you joined us. Thank you. And Carmen, it's like we've got so many folks joining on. I'm really grateful. Thanks, guys. And so my number one tip for a mistake to avoid is to not get specific enough. It's like narrow it down, get your goals, kind of into really bite-sized pieces where you really can make a difference. Hey, Charlena, welcome. And to get it so that you know specifically what you're looking for, and that you know when you reached it. Like if you want to make more money this month than you made last month, couple things need to happen. One is that you need to know how much you made last month, and two, you need to say how much more you want to make than last month. Is it $1 more? Is it $100 more? Is it $1,000 more? What's the more? How do you get specific with it? How do you make it so that it's measurable, so that you know if you did it or not? It's like if you say, I want more clients, that doesn't, when do you get there? You never really get there. It's just more. And a lot of times what's happened when I sit down with people individually and do coaching is that they already have the amount of clients that they want, or they already are making the amount of money that they thought that they wanted to make. They just didn't realize it yet. And so when we can get specific and say, this is what I want to make, then we can measure against it. Are we already doing it? And if we are already doing it, what happened to the money? Where did it go? Why does it feel like we don't have enough clients and that type of thing? Because it keeps being not enough. And so by getting really focused as far as how many clients do you want, I call that my Ferris wheel theory, where it's like we get to decide each day how many clients that we want to do, or how many people we want to service, how many people we want on our Ferris wheel per se. And I'll break that down at another time, but it's just an easy way for me to look at my business, that as someone's coming in, someone's getting out, and it keeps the flow of it going, or kept the flow of it going for me all day as I built a clientele. And so being specific is really, really key, and one of those things that we tend to avoid. We like the generalities because it doesn't hold our feet to the fire. And so as a coach, it's like I'm here to help hold feet to fires. It's like so that we actually get there and produce the results that we really want at the end of the day. And so the second thing that I think is really critical with goals, and a lot of times we avoid it as well, is that we just talk about it. We talk about it, but we won't write it down. We don't write it down. And I think it's really key. There's something that happens in your brain. It's actually been proven when you write something down, like with a pen and paper. It's different than typing it into your tablet. But it's even powerful to type it in your tablet, write it down somewhere so that you can actually see it. It kind of becomes real. It becomes concrete, something that you can kind of jump onto. So if I ask you guys right now to pull out your written goals, how many of you guys can pull them out? Let me see some thumbs up. Because I want you to have them on you, in your purse, in your pocket, in your wallet, wherever it might be, to help you stay focused, because there's so many things in our lives that take us off focus that it is very helpful to have it written down and have something that you can go back to. And we got one thumb. So when I run into you guys, I want to see your written down goals. We got some more popping up there, so I'm really happy to see that. And one of the things that's nice and easy is like a little 3x5 card where you can just kind of put what you want on there. You can write it in the present tense, that it's already happened, and sometimes, it kind of feels like a trick, but it's like your brain actually doesn't know the difference between now and then, or what's real or what's not. It just knows what it gets fed. And so the more you can feed it, there's actually a great classic book you're probably familiar with called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it kind of talks about that. And that was one of the things that was a a real key for me building. If any of you guys know my story, it's like I moved to a new area, to the Washington, D.C. area with no clients. I took my test in Texas one day and moved to D.C. the next day. And so building my clientele ended up taking a lot less time than I actually expected it to take. I thought that it would take me about a year or so to get built up fully, and it happened within 6 months. And some of it was because I wrote things down and I thought about it all over and over and over again. And every free moment I had was thinking about, it's like, how many clients would I need? What services would they need to get done? What would they need to spend to, to make it so that I could actually be in the salon full time, which was my goal. And so, thank you, Renelia. So the thing, writing it down, getting specific, all of those kind of things help keep it alive, keep your things alive. Because how many of you guys have made a resolution? A New Year's resolution. This is going to happen this year. We're going to lose 10 pounds in the first month in January. By February 1st, you get specific, you have all these high hopes and high goals, and then you look up and it's February 12th and nothing is happening. And you've fallen off the wagon, and it's like, what did I say again? It's like writing it down, keeping it in front of you, and keeping it so that it's on your mind constantly. Because sometimes I ask people about their goals, or, again, I mentioned that kind of client avatar, which is one of the reasons I'm not really a big fan about having an avatar, is because people tend to say, oh, I have that written down somewhere. Let me go fish it out. Let me go find it. With your marketing, with your message, with your brand, with whatever it is, it needs to be up in here, and it needs to be right in your heart at all times. It's like you can't go fish it out when you think about it. It needs to be with you 100% of the time. And the same thing with your goals, is that they need to be with you 100% of the time, on your mind, on your thoughts, getting you what your next step would be, what your next little mile marker would be, what support do you need to go along with that goal, because we can't do it all alone. And sometimes we think that we can, sometimes we think that we want to, but it's much better when we have support. Whether it be just getting a buddy, someone else that's in your salon, someone else that is across the country that's a friend of yours in the industry, someone that may not even be in the industry, but that's cheering you on, and you can cheer them on with whatever it is that they're working on. Having that buddy system, having a mentor has been extremely important to me in my life, particularly when I was getting started in the industry. It was like critical, because it's like I had all these thoughts that were not helping me to get to my goal. It was like, oh, I can't do hair. Oh, nobody likes me. It's like I'm not building my clients fast enough. And, it made up all of these different stories about what was going on. And it really was a mentor that helped keep me, back on track. Refocus, Mickey, refocus, where we're going. And so when you can I call it your North Star. When you have that North Star, that goal that you're working toward, it's easier to get yourself back on track, because it's like, okay, where's North? Where's my North Star, so that I can make sure that I'm staying focused with what I want to accomplish, and not letting, the naysayers, whether they be in your head or outside of your head, to get in the way. Not letting anything that seems like an obstacle to get in your way. It's like we start working on a project, talk to a couple folks that are opening salons, and thank you, that are opening salons, and it's like, you've got to deal with the city and getting the permits, and then the contractors and all these other different folks, so a lot of it's not in your control, but the only part that's in your control is being able to stay focused on where you're going, take some time, some quiet time to journal, take some quiet time to pray, and take some time to pick up the phone and ask for guidance from somebody who may have been down that road before you, to be able to really keep things going, moving forward, and moving towards your goal. So getting specific is that number one mistake that we tend not to do. So the more specific that you can get, the better. And the second thing is with writing it down. So we tend not to want to write it down, but it's like, write it down, get a 3x5 card tonight, pull out a notebook tonight, write it in your phone, in the notes section, whatever it is, so that you can keep it in front of you, because having it written down gives it life, just that very act. And a lot of us are visual people. People who are inspired by things that are visual. And so one thing that's really great in terms of making it more real is putting together kind of a vision board where you can actually clip out magazine pictures or words and thoughts that kind of exemplify what it is that you want to create in 2018. So you could do a 2018 vision board where you just actually put together the images and the pictures, and you can carry that around with you as well. And or if it's something that's bigger that you may want to leave at home, you can even take a picture of it with your camera and be able to reference it throughout the day. So it's like, take little, whenever you have a little break, just as I did in the office with making the notes and what have you, is just take a look at your picture, get inspired, get, excited about what it is that you're working towards when you feel like you get bogged down, or like, where are the clients? They're not coming in fast enough. But envisioning yourself, busy with a full book and being able to do some of the things that you want to do in terms of, maybe taking a vacation or taking a certain training class. All of those kinds of things are things, that have been inspiring to me, but you have to decide what's inspiring to you. And so I'm looking at doing a class here. I don't know how many folks we have in the Raleigh-Durham area, North Carolina area, but I'm thinking about doing a class that will be on goal setting, where we'll actually do the goal setting in the classroom and actually do our vision boards, bring some magazines, do some cutouts, and actually spend some time doing that, looking at potentially the 21st of January, which is a Sunday afternoon. We'll spend a couple hours together. It's like in my Building Your Clientele 101 book, it's like one of the key areas is in goal setting. And it's because it really is key to reaching any goal, is to actually have things set up and also set in writing to really be able to take your business to the next level. So does anybody have any questions that they want to ask about goals or goal setting or frustrations or anything that I might be able to help anyone with? You can just put it in the comment section and see if I can scroll here. It's like I see Tamika, thank you for being here, and Frank, Tammy, Nina. We've got quite a few folks, so thank you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I want to continue every Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern Time p.m. I'm doing live trainings and sometimes live coachings. We tried that last week. That worked out pretty well. It's like we're still getting used to the hi there. Still getting used to the technology, but it's so awesome to be able to put you guys live on here and actually, have the interaction. So it's really cool. So I'm not seeing any questions coming up, but it's like I will leave you with, let me see, I just want to see if we get, and one of the things too, this I just wanted to share while I'm on here is, putting different categories of your life together so that you have a goal for each one, and maybe not to address all of them for, even in 1 year, let alone 1 month or 1 week, but to put together these goals, some of your personal goals as well as your professional goals, so that you have them written down, because sometimes we achieve our goals and sometimes we achieve them faster than we expected to achieve them. And then what do? Sometimes we get off track. Okay, I see. Love the motivation. How best do you think to deal with cancellations, responding to clients? I've missed whatever that is. Tackling frustration. How can it be done? How to deal with cancellations. So, a couple different things that come to mind as far as cancellations. With cancellations, there's usually a root cause, I guess you could say, of the cancellations. And so one thing that works very well is to confirm clients the day before or 2 days before so that they are actually aware that their appointment is that day. It's like we have an automated system that we use with our salon, which usually works out well, but with the holidays, different people have been changing their appointments to different days and different times, and I found that a few people, they even confirmed, on the automated system, but they actually were thinking it was one day and then they came in a different day. And so that always is fun. And so doing a little reach out either through phone, through text, or what have you to do a confirmation. Another thing is to make sure that you are typically running on time, and that you're respecting their time, they're respecting your time. It usually kind of goes both ways, and let them know that you are serious about your time, because someone else can be in that space. That's part of my Ferris wheel theory is there's one seat, and it's like it goes to the person who gets on the seat first, which is reserving their making their reservation or what have you in advance. And then of course there's cancellation fees, which can be it's like it can be a deterrent for certain people, but I think being more proactive can be the biggest deterrent, if that's helpful. So I hope so. And let's see, responding to clients, I'm not sure what that means. And then Elsie had tackling frustration. How can it be done? And frustration regarding what? Oh, I see a. Can you guys see me? I hope. I forgot to turn the do not disturb off on my phone. So, okay, that was helpful, so thank you. And Elsie, if you have any other parts to your tackling frustration, because frustration can come in many different forms, so just wondering what specifically you're wanting to ask about. But frustration overall in terms of reaching your goals, bring them on camera. Okay, that's a good suggestion. Thank you, Gigi. And happy holidays to everybody. Let's see if I can do that. Bring Elsie on camera. Well, you have to ask too. So Elsie, do you want to be on camera? Give me a thumbs up or a star or something if you do. Startup and goals. Was that your thumbs up? I'm going to try to connect us. Okay, I think that was you. I'm inviting you. Okay, it's still inviting. I think there's a little bit of a lag time, so it's not, we should have her on shortly. Hopefully it's going through here. But frustration about startup and about goals, I'm still a little not on track with that.
Hi.
It's connecting.
I know
Hi
you're
there.
not seeing me because I'm Ubering. But my question was more so about like getting started, like when you have different obstacles.
Okay,
And also
getting started with what? Anything about
reaching goals. Like I have so many lists and I've recorded so many different goals and done so much research, but sometimes I still find things being an obstacle to me.
Okay.
And I'm just curious, like how you dealt with it when you got started in the beginning.
With obstacles as
and
far as
maybe
which
you can
part?
like shed a little bit of light as to just staying focused and positive.
Give me an example if you can of one of those obstacles. Uh-oh. We're getting a lot of background noise. So I'll just tackle it. Are you there?
Okay, so sorry about that.
Okay.
Did you get any of that? I don't know.
I did get it, but do you have anything specific? An example?
Because I've actually just pulled over.
Okay, yes, be safe, please.
So,
okay.
okay.
Any example of any obstacle?
Hi. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to find out, like, what can one do, like, when you're getting started or you're rebuilding? I was in a natural hair and braiding salon initially a few years ago, and so I went into a mobile service. And I
Okay.
found that worked for me for a time, but when you don't feel well or, different things happen, then it becomes a deterrent.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me. And
Yes, I can hear.
so I'm rebuilding and I'm having re-entry into the industry because I feel like I'm not walking in my purpose,
Okay.
doing other things. And
Okay.
so I just want to learn how I can stay focused and not worry
Okay.
so much and implement everything that I've learned from you as well as other resources. And thanks a lot because like over the years I've communicated with you and I so appreciate you. I appreciate all the guidance
Oh,
you've given me
thank
and it's really
you.
worked for me. So I want to go back into it. So
Okay.
what can I
Yeah,
do?
I would say, based on what you're saying, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing all of that. Um, that starting over can be challenging. So just to acknowledge that, and I think I'll take you down for right now, because it seems like we have a little bit of background noise. So I'll say goodbye and I'll answer. Okay.
Okay.
Elsie.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so starting over, that's something I know a little bit about because I've started over several different times after I moved to DC, and started the major part of my career in that area. I relocated to Richmond, I've relocated to Raleigh, I relocated to Northern Virginia, and I've started and built clienteles from all of those different areas. And so I do know that it can be done, number one, and I do know that people are looking for a certain a reason to come back. How about that? It's like people are looking for a reason to come back. And so it really is going to the basics. It's always the basics, which is what I teach in terms of, the marketing, getting the word out, getting the name out. We have so many online tools right now, but it's like you can't forget offline as well. It's like when you're interacting with people, you know, passing out business cards, creating promotions that go for a short period of time to really increase the momentum, because that's one of the things that will help is doing something faster than doing something slower, and being able to educate people, be able to be knowledgeable. It's like we kind of, in some ways, turned over our expertise to YouTube. And so, how can we start to let people know in their minds when they come to see us that we are a professional, we are a resource for them, we are able to provide education for them and give them what they need, not only in terms of the hair service, but the whole experience of what it is that they're coming to see. So getting the word out, we talked about this last week a little bit, but just kind of making an offer that you can't refuse. I have a book that's called Get More Clients, Make More Money Fast, which is a specific promotion that's designed to get clients in your chair immediately and help you build a really full clientele quickly by doing a really great promotion that's very strategic. And it's like you can't just discount your way to success because you'll go under before you start to make it. We provide services, with our time, with our knowledge, and all of those things. And so if we give away all of our time, then there's no more time left. Basically, there's no more energy left. There's no more room to do more people. And at some points with the whole discounting thing, it's like we end up paying people to come to see us, which, really doesn't make sense and isn't sustainable for sure. So, getting out there, getting the word out, having conversations, networking is one of the sessions that we did. Getting out when people aren't coming into you, it's like I wrote an article a while ago that was all about, how I used to sit around waiting for clients until I realized no one knew I was waiting. And so when no one knows you're waiting there for people to come in, you got to go out. And it's like, get outside the door, get outside your walls, get outside your comfort zone, go out, put out some flyers, meet some of your neighbors, talk to them, get some models going, And there's so many different marketing things, and I'll be teaching a class at the Long Beach show, the ICE show in Long Beach, California at the end of January, marketing for salon suites. And so we'll go through some of those things, but getting clear on who you are and what services that you provide and who you really can be of service to is really, really key as well. So I hope some of that's helpful. We're probably over a little bit time-wise, but I appreciate the question. I appreciate being able to get you guys live here, and we'll definitely do more of this. And I'm thinking about doing like a 30-day challenge where I'll come on once a day to do a video of something for some of the marketing as we kick off for January. So let me know if that's something you would be interested in, just seeing, a couple minutes a day or so on some different things that you can do to market your business. And like I mentioned before, okay, got a heart, so thank you. A couple things that I mentioned before, getting support, creating a support system so you're not doing it all alone, because you can have those days where you're frustrated and you get off track and you feel like, oh, I don't think I can do it, but you need those folks. Okay, I see some hearts and thumbs ups and all of that, so it's like, I guess we'll look at doing the 30 days. So thank you guys, I appreciate it, and appreciate all the love, all the hearts. But we can't do it alone. We got to have some support, and I want Beauty Superstars to be hopefully part of that support system, in the process of kind of looking at my group and seeing how we might be able to provide more support that way for everybody out there, all the hairstylists, all the beauty professionals, all the barbers, and that type of thing, to really let's take our industry back. Let's get professional. Let's build our clienteles. Get the clients in the door in the first place, and we've got to get a plan to keep them coming back on a regular basis, because I talk about this often, but the industry statistics show that for every 10 clients that come into a new salon setting, that 7 of them go back out the door. They never return, and so we can't build a business like that. So we've got to have the strategies to be able to keep the clients coming back, and that's actually one of the best marketing tips I can tell you, is creating those clients for life, and having them come back again and again, so that you don't have to keep starting over every month or every year or what have you. And so I did 3 segments of things that mistakes that we need to avoid with our goal setting to be able to reach our goals in 2018. One is definitely getting really clear and specific, what is that North Star, identifying that North Star for you. And the second one is writing it down, having it right in front of you, and not like lots of notes, because I heard, I think LC, and I may be mistaken, but I think I heard it's like, oh, I've got notes and pages and classes and notebooks full of different stuff, but just that clear, concise, this is what I want, this is what I'm focused on right now, because it's not hard, it's impossible. Just by the definition of the word, it's impossible to focus on a lot of different things all at the same time. We call it multitasking, but literally our brains don't really operate that way. It's like when you can give your brain a clear focus, it is going to be much more productive. And it basically is like airplanes. When we, get on a plane and we want to go from, say, DC to Florida, we think the plane just shoots straight down there, but it keeps veering to the right and veering to the left, and the pilot has to keep, or the autopilot, or however it works, has to keep directing. It's like, nope, we're going to Florida, we're going to Miami, or what have you. So it has to keep directing it, and that's what we have to keep doing with our lives, and that's why we need that North Star, so we remember where we're supposed to be going. It's like, oh yeah, I got off track, let me get back on track. So, and creating the vision board, so that you have something visual to look at, and there's tools that are online that you can use, but kind of sitting down doing that, cutting out the magazines kind of thing can be really centering and make it so that it's a little bit more intentional. So, that is something to consider. And if you're in the Raleigh-Durham area, it's like to look for the details of us doing a live event where we can all get together and sit down I'll do some training on some more goal setting. We've got several pages that are part of the Building Your Clientele 101 book that are really helpful as far as the goal setting. So if you have that book, it's a great time to pull it back out and, like Elsie said, to utilize the tools that are there. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. It's like I will sign off. I'm Nikki Wright. I'm with BeautySuperstars.com. I help stylists to be able to gain clients, gain income, and gain confidence to be able to win in this industry. So thanks a lot. Happy New Year. I will try to get on here at least one more time and do something, and I may do my lives in the group, but you can tell me what's better on this page or on my group page. So take good care. Love you all. Thanks so much for taking time out of your evening to join me, and I will look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye-bye.